recapping on the Munster final round and then talking about the final. So Cork beating Waterford 225 to 122. The key takeaways from this game: Cork struck when it mattered. The goals from Brian Hayes 30 seconds into the second half and Patrick Horgan, set by Brian Hayes, they were absolute sucker punches for Waterford because they came at critical stages after what was a very even first half. Waterford can feel hard done by that they weren't given a penalty for when Mark Coleman fell Stephen Bennett. And then in the second half, when Bennett did get his goal, Cork were able to manage it out and get the win by 6 points. And then on the other side, Limerick finished their Munster campaign with a defeat to Clare, 24 points to Clare's 320. Clare finished the year on a high, 2 goals from Ryan Taylor, 1-8 from Mark Rogers. Limerick probably weren't going at 100 miles an hour for this. I feel like they felt they were home and hosed. But looking back on these two games and looking back on Limerick's big victory over Cork in the previous round, as a Cork man, what are your quick thoughts ahead of the Munster final?
Worried about Cork's form, definitely. Worried about Limerick's form, considering they're going like a train at the moment and they seem like they're not going to be stopped. Look, the Clare game was a practice session. It was a training session. They didn't care about Garen Gallan didn't play in the game. Cian Lynch didn't play any part. Dickie Quaid didn't play any part. It was clear Limerick were resting players, so you can't take into account that result whatsoever. Cork would want to win the game. They'd want to banish the demons, but on form right now, Limerick are clear favourites to win this game. Cork have to improve tenfold to even get close to Limerick. I don't know how they'll do it, but it's going to be very, very tough to see how they do it. And like if they do even get close, if they get within 5 points of Limerick, I do think still it'll give Cork a lot of confidence moving into the All-Ireland series, because the All-Ireland is the massive aim for this Cork team. But we will see what happens. This is going to be a very, very close game in a few weeks' time.
That was a terrible day at the office for Cork. But to say that they can't beat Limerick, in my opinion, is just wrong. They beat them twice last year. Like, one of the most competitive rivalries that we've ever seen in Gaelic games was the 1970s rivalry between Dublin and Kerry. That's seen as one of the most competitive rivalries in the history of Gaelic games. Yet in 1978, Kerry destroyed Dublin in the All-Ireland final. Yet every game after that, people knew that Dublin could beat Kerry because of the rivalry and because of how, one day it just could be Kerry's day, one day it could just be Dublin's day. And the reality is Cork definitely can beat Limerick in this Munster final. Do I make them favourites? No. But I do think that they can beat them, and I think that they are the most likely team in hurling right now to beat Limerick. I think Limerick looked absolutely terrifying in that Cork game because they looked like they got their mojo back, they got their energy back. Limerick will be favourites, but don't write off Cork.